Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going to crack the code of body language and communication. We've got some fascinating research and insights covering everything from power poses,
Yeah.
vocal fry,
Oh, yeah.
even how to make friends as adults.
It's a good one.
Get ready to unlock that hidden language of success.
It's fascinating how much we actually convey without even speaking, right?
Right.
Our bodies, our voices, even our sense send messages that can actually influence how others see us
Wow.
and even how we see ourselves.
It's like we're all walking around with these signals that are invisible,
Mhm.
just shaping our interactions without us even realizing it.
Exactly. And the thing is, once you understand those cues,
Yeah.
you can actually become more intentional about the messages that you send,
Yeah.
and just improve your ability to really connect with other people.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
One of the most mind-blowing stats I came across
Yeah.
is that 82% of first impressions are based on just two things,
Okay.
warmth and competence. So it just seems like how we come across non-verbally plays a huge role in whether people trust us, want to work with us, even find us likable.
And the really cool thing is, we can actually control those cues to a large extent
Really?
by understanding how our body language, tone of voice, even our word choices impact how people see us in terms of warmth and competence.
Okay.
We can be more deliberate about the signals that we're sending.
That's good. So,
Yeah.
like, if you've ever felt overlooked at a meeting or struggled to connect with new people or wondered why some people just seem to have that it factor,
Yeah.
this deep dive is for you.
Yeah, we're going to be exploring 4 key channels of communication:
Okay.
body language, vocal cues, word choice, and even scent, believe it or not.
Scent, really?
Yeah.
I've never thought of that as a communication channel.
Well, think about it. Researchers have found that the name of a game can actually influence the way people play it.
Really?
They called the same game either the community game or the Wall Street game. Players in the Wall Street game were far less cooperative and shared significantly less of their profits compared to the people who played the community game.
So just one word, shifted their entire behavior.
Exactly. It just shows the power of these subtle cues to really influence our actions.
Wow.
We're also going to be looking into the contagious nature of low and high performers.
Okay.
Did you know that sitting within 25 feet of a high performer can actually boost your own performance by 15%?
Really? So I need to strategically choose my desk buddy at work.
Yeah, it can't hurt, but conversely, sitting near a low performer can decrease your performance by 30%.
Oh, wow.
So choose your office neighbors carefully.
Yeah, surround yourself with people who inspire you to do your best.
That's it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Speaking of performance, let's talk about hand gestures.
Okay.
They play a surprisingly crucial role in how we are perceived and how effectively we communicate.
Oh, I can see that.
A study found that the most popular TED Talk speakers used an average of 465 hand gestures in just 18 minutes.
Wow. That's a lot of hand movement.
It is. It's a lot. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Engaging speakers, right? They use their whole bodies to communicate.
Yeah.
Hand gestures, they just make us more dynamic. They make us more engaging. They help our audience remember what we are saying. And research has even shown that using a hand gesture in a thumbnail image can actually lead to more clicks on a video.
So get those hands talking.
Get those hands talking, let them move naturally,
Okay.
and it will actually make you a more captivating communicator.
Now, I've heard people talk about finding your TED Talk voice.
Yeah.
Is that really a thing, or is that just like a buzzword?
Oh, no, it's a real thing.
Okay.
Think about it, right? The most captivating speakers, they use vocal variety to keep their audience engaged.
Right.
They modulate their tones and inflections to emphasize key points,
Okay.
bring numbers to life, and draw you into their stories.
It makes sense, because a monotone voice can make even the most interesting content,
Oh, absolutely.
dull.
Yeah, really boring. A good place to start is just becoming more aware of your own vocal patterns.
Okay.
Are you ending your sentences on an upward inflection, making them sound like questions?
Oh, guilty as charged.
It's a common habit,
Yeah.
but it can make you sound less confident.
Okay.
Aim for a downward inflection at the end of your sentences
Right.
to project authority and make your statements more believable.
So we're going for that, commanding attention kind of a voice.
Yes, precisely. Project that confidence through your voice.
Got it.
And speaking of projecting, there's an interesting study about surgeons
Okay.
and how their voices actually influence patient perceptions.
Now I'm really interested.
Researchers recorded surgeons introducing themselves and analyzed their vocal tones.
Oh,
People listened to these recordings and rated the surgeons on warmth and competence. And the surgeons with the lowest ratings, guess what?
what?
Had the highest malpractice lawsuit rates.
What? So people were more likely to sue a surgeon based on their voice.
Yeah. It's a powerful example of how our perceptions are shaped by those nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
We judge people, often unconsciously, based on how they make us feel, and vocal tone plays a huge role in that.
I never realized how much my voice could be impacting my interactions.
Well, now that you're aware of it, right, you can start paying more attention to the signals you're both sending and receiving.
Okay.
And it can transform your relationships and really just how you navigate the world.
I love that
Yeah.
all of this talk about sending and receiving signals makes me think about personal space. Like, I've always been kind of sensitive to people getting too close, but I never really understood why.
We all have different comfort levels when it comes to personal space, formerly known as proxemics.
Okay.
There are 4 distinct zones: the public zone, the social zone, the personal zone, and the intimate zone.
Okay, can you break those down for me a little bit?
Sure. Think of the public zone as the furthest away, used for like more formal settings like speeches or presentations. The social zone is for more casual interactions like parties, networking events.
Got it.
The personal zone is about an arm's length away that's reserved for closer friends and family.
Okay.
And then finally, the intimate zone is for those we're very close to romantically or very, very close family and friends.
That makes so much sense now. I understand why I get that, like, backup feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When someone I don't know that well gets a little too close, they're just, like, in my bubble.
Exactly. They're in your bubble. Right. And here's something interesting to think about. Video conferencing has kind of thrown a wrench into all of this.
Oh, yeah.
Most people place their webcams too close, creating an unintentional sense of intimacy, even if you're not actually physically close to that person.
It's like they're, like, right there in your face.
In your face, exactly.
Even though they could be miles away.
Right. So, pro tip,
Okay.
keep your webcam about an arm's length away
Okay.
for a more natural, comfortable feeling for everyone.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I never realized how much I was overlooking, like, these subtle cues in my own interactions.
We all do, but now that you're aware of it, right, you
Right.
can start paying attention to the signals that you're sending and receiving,
Yeah.
which can transform your relationships and really just how you navigate the world.
That's great. Speaking of navigating relationships, let's talk about projecting confidence and likability. Like, those
Oh, yeah?
feel like pretty crucial ingredients for building, strong connections.
Absolutely, and both can be enhanced by just understanding and using body language effectively.
Now, I think a lot of people, myself included, would love to know how to boost their likability without seeming, fake or desperate.
It might surprise you to learn that the most likable people aren't necessarily the most outgoing or charismatic ones.
Really?
A study found that the single biggest predictor of popularity was the number of people someone genuinely liked.
So the key to being liked is liking others.
Exactly. It seems counterintuitive. But it's true. The more we genuinely like and appreciate others, the more likable we become. And this is where the concept of being the first liker comes in.
I love that concept. What does being the first liker look like in practice?
It's all about actively seeking out the good in others.
Okay.
And expressing that appreciation. Don't be afraid to, initiate conversations, offer compliments, or simply smile and make eye contact.
Yeah.
It's about putting that positive energy out there.
Yeah, I love that because it feels a lot more genuine than trying to, impress people or,
Yeah.
win them over.
It's about authenticity, not about trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
And here's another interesting insight.
Okay.
We often underestimate how much other people actually like us.
Really?
It's called signal amplification bias, where we assume our positive signals aren't being received as strongly as they are.
So we're basically our own worst critics.
Often, yes, we tend to focus on our flaws while overlooking all those qualities that make us likable to others.
Yeah.
Right, people are drawn to authenticity, not perfection.
Yeah, I tend to overthink every interaction and I get
Ye all do it.
stuck in my head.
It's natural.
Yeah.
But the more we can kind of let go of that self-doubt and just embrace our authentic selves, the more genuine and likable we become.
Now, we've talked about being the first liker, but are there any specific phrases we can use to, boost our likability?
Oh, absolutely. There are 3 phrases that work wonders in any social setting.
Okay, I'm ready.
The first one is, I was just thinking of you.
Oh, I love that.
This simple phrase just shows that you care and that the person has been on your mind.
Yeah.
It can be as simple as sending a quick text when something reminds you of them.
Yeah, I love that. It just feels so
It's effortless.
delicious.
It doesn't require a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Just a quick message can make someone's day and strengthen your connection.
What about those times where you haven't seen someone in a while and you feel like a little awkward reaching out?
That's where the second phrase comes in. You're always so.
Okay.
Fill in the blank.
Okay.
This is a great way to compliment someone authentically.
Mm-hmm.
You can tailor it to the situation, like you're always so insightful or you always make me laugh.
Yeah, it's subtle. It doesn't feel forced.
It's genuine.
Yeah.
And finally, we have, last time we talked, you mentioned,
Okay.
which shows that you were actually listening.
Yeah.
And you value their thoughts and experiences.
I love these. I can't wait to start using them.
You will be amazed by how much these 3 phrases can deepen your connections and make you more likable.
Now, let's talk about projecting confidence.
Yeah.
I know that feeling confident can be a struggle for a lot of people, including myself. So what are some practical tips, especially for those high-pressure situations?
Confidence is all about how we carry ourselves, both physically and mentally. And luckily, there are some powerful body language cues that can help us project that aura of competence and self-assurance.
Okay, I'm ready for those confidence boosters.
One of the most effective is steepling,
Oh,
where you interlace your fingers and create that steeple shape with your hands.
oh, I've seen people do that. It does project.
Or, authority.
It conveys thoughtfulness. It conveys control.
Okay.
The key is to keep it relaxed and natural.
Okay, so it's not about white-knuckling it.
It's not about white-knuckling it exactly. It's about finding that balance between assertiveness and approachability.
Got it.
Another important cue is the distance between your earlobes and your shoulders.
Wait, my earlobes and shoulders are confidence indicators.
Believe it or not, yes.
Okay.
When we feel stressed or insecure, we tend to hunch our shoulders up, which brings our earlobes closer together.
Right.
But to project confidence, aim for a relaxed, open posture,
Okay.
allowing your shoulders to drop naturally.
So like head held high vibe.
Head held high, precisely.
Okay.
And it's not just appearances.
Mm-hmm.
This posture actually sends signals to your brain, boosting your confidence from the inside out. So it's not just like fake it till you make it.
Right.
It's like,
It's actually changing how you feel.
yeah, changing how you feel. Wow.
It's amazing how these seemingly small adjustments can have such a big impact on how we feel and how others perceive us.
It's really interesting. It's all about understanding that language of our bodies and using it to our advantage.
Exactly. And we're going to continue to explore more after a quick break. Stay tuned.
So before the break, we were talking about confidence cues.
Yeah.
What else can we add to our toolkit?
Yeah. What else?
Let's talk about eye contact.
Okay.
Classic confidence booster.
Right.
It's all about finding that sweet spot, though.
Okay.
Research suggests that the ideal amount of eye contact in Western cultures is between 60% and 70% of the conversation.
Okay. So not like staring somebody down.
Definitely not.
Okay.
It's about making eye contact at key moments, like at the end of your sentences when you're making an important point.
Gotcha. So like really emphasizing your words with your gaze.
Exactly. It shows that you're engaged and that you're confident in what you're saying.
Okay.
Another powerful cue is the lower lid flex.
A what?
Lower lid flex?
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one.
So imagine you're trying to focus on something in the distance.
Okay.
And notice how your lower eyelids naturally tighten just slightly.
Yeah.
That's the lower lid flex.
Oh, I see it. It's like a subtle squint.
Exactly, a subtle squint.
Mm-hmm.
It conveys a sense of intense focus and interest. You can use it when someone is saying something really important or when you want to show that you're truly listening.
Okay. So it's like, I'm really paying attention to what you're saying.
Right.
I'm locked in.
Locked in, exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these subtle cues can have such a big impact on how we're perceived.
Yeah. It's really fascinating.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears and talk about warmth cues.
Okay.
I know I can sometimes come across as a bit serious, so I'm always looking for ways to increase my warmth factor.
Yeah. I think that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Hmm.
Like, how do you project more warmth?
So warmth cues are all about creating a sense of connection and approachability. Okay. One simple yet powerful cue is the triple nod.
The triple nod, is that just nodding 3 times?
Precisely when you nod slowly 3 times while someone is speaking,
Okay.
it encourages them to keep talking and to share more.
It's like a nonverbal way of saying, Tell me more, I'm interested?
Exactly. It shows that you're genuinely interested.
Yeah.
And that you value their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Another great warmth cue is the head tilt.
Oh, yeah.
I do that all the time without even thinking about it.
Okay.
It's a natural way to show that you're engaged and listening attentively.
Okay.
It also exposes our necks, a vulnerable area signaling trust and openness.
I never realized a head tilt could convey vulnerability.
It's subtle yet powerful in building rapport and creating that sense of connection.
So we got the triple nod and the head tilt.
Right.
What else can we add to our warmth toolkit?
A genuine smile, of course.
Right.
A genuine smile instantly makes you more approachable and likable.
But what about those times when you're not really feeling it?
Yeah.
Do you just force a smile?
Definitely not.
Okay. A fake smile is actually worse than no smile at all.
Really?
It comes across as insincere and can actually make people distrust you.
Okay.
It's about connecting with the emotion behind the smile. Think of something or someone that makes you genuinely happy.
Okay.
And let that warmth shine through.
I like that tip.
Another effective warmth cue is leaning in slightly when someone is speaking.
Okay, but isn't leaning in a little aggressive?
It depends.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Right.
A slight lean shows engagement, while leaning back can signal disinterest or boredom.
Oh, okay. So you want to show that you're interested but not be in their space too much?
It's a delicate dance between showing interest and respecting boundaries.
That makes sense.
And finally, we have what's called the nonverbal bridge.
What's that?
It's about using subtle gestures to close the distance between you and the other person.
Okay.
Like a slight reach out, a gentle touch on the arm, or angling your body towards them.
So it's like you're inviting them into your space.
Exactly.
Without being creepy about it.
Without being creepy about it.
Right.
These nonverbal bridges can be incredibly powerful for building rapport and deepening relationships.
Okay, all this talk about connection makes me think about making friends as adults, which I feel like can be so much harder than when you're a kid.
It's true, the social landscape changes as we get older, but there are strategies that we can use to navigate making new friends.
Oh, okay, I'm interested in this.
The key is to approach friendship with the same intentionality that we bring to dating.
Wait, are you suggesting we go on friend dates?
Absolutely. Think about it when you're dating. You go on dates to get to know someone better and to see if you're compatible.
Right.
The same principle applies to friendships.
Okay, so instead of swiping right on a dating app, we're swiping right on potential friends.
Exactly. And just like with dating, choose activities that allow you to see each other's true selves.
So maybe skip the awkward coffee shop meetup.
Yeah, those can still be fun, but mix it up. Go on hikes, try new restaurants, attend concerts, or even just hang out at each other's homes.
I love that.
It takes the pressure off. Yeah.
And allows for more relaxed and authentic connection.
And just like with dating, don't be afraid to ask those allergy questions.
Yeah.
Allergy questions for friends. What does that even mean?
Well, sure, practical ones, like pet allergies matter.
Right.
But I'm talking about questions that reveal each other's values and priorities.
Okay.
Like, what are you most passionate about? Or what's your biggest goal right now?
I like that.
It's about going beyond small talk and really getting to know someone.
Yeah, I like that.
It's about finding your tribe, those people who resonate with your soul and inspire you to be your best self.
I love that idea.
Right.
But it can be tough to find those people in today's world.
It can, and unfortunately, there's a growing trend that's making it even harder.
That's
AirPods.
Really, AirPods? What do those little white earbuds have to do with making friends?
Think about it when people have their AirPods in.
Yeah.
They're essentially shutting out the world and missing those crucial micro moments of connection that can actually spark a friendship. Oh, so it's like you're in your own little world.
In your own little bubble, oblivious to the people around you.
Yeah, and you're missing out on those interactions that could lead to something.
Exactly. It's not just about missing out on potential friends, but also about losing those weak ties. The casual connections that can enrich our lives in unexpected ways.
Weak ties. What do you mean by that?
Like acquaintances or people that you see regularly but don't really know that well.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
Those weak ties can provide new perspectives, job opportunities, and even just a sense of belonging.
I never thought of it that way.
So next time you're out and about, ditch the AirPods and just be present in the moment. You never know who you might meet or what opportunities might arise.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about decoding others.
Yeah.
I've always been fascinated by micro-expressions and how they can reveal hidden emotions.
Microexpressions are those fleeting facial expressions that occur involuntarily,
Okay.
revealing our true feelings even when we're trying to conceal them.
So our faces betray us even when our words don't.
Exactly. And the more we learn about microexpressions, the better we become at reading people and understanding their underlying emotions.
Can you get some examples of some common microexpressions and what they mean?
Of course, one of the most telling is the eyebrow raise.
Yeah.
A sudden, involuntary eyebrow raise often indicates surprise or disbelief.
Right. So it's like their eyebrows are saying, you've got to be kidding me.
Exactly. It's a clear sign that something unexpected or perhaps questionable has happened.
What about fake smiles? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Can you spot a fake smile through microexpression?
Absolutely. A genuine smile engages the muscles around the eyes, creating those crinkly lines we call crow's feet.
Yeah.
But a fake smile only engages the muscles around the mouth, leaving the eyes cold and lifeless.
It's all about the eyes.
It's all about the eyes. The eyes rarely lie.
Okay.
Now let's talk about something a bit more challenging, spotting deception.
Okay.
While it's crucial to avoid jumping to conclusions, there are certain patterns that can indicate that someone might not be telling the whole truth.
Okay, I'm ready to put my detective hat on.
One common cue is a sudden drop in volume.
Okay.
When someone is lying, their voice often gets quieter, almost as if they're trying to avoid being heard.
Right. It's like trying to downplay the importance of what they're saying.
Trying to sneak it in there.
Yeah.
Another telltale sign is incongruence between their words and their nonverbal cues.
Okay.
For example, if someone says yes while shaking their head no,
Yeah.
that's a major red flag.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because our nonverbal cues are often more honest than our words.
Okay.
So paying attention to those inconsistencies can be really revealing.
That's really interesting. I feel like I'm gaining a whole new level of awareness in my interactions.
Absolutely. It's all about paying attention to those subtle signals that people send, both consciously and unconsciously.
Speaking of signals, there's one type of relationship that has always baffled me. Those ambivalent relationships.
Ah, yes.
Like, I'm not really sure where I stand with this person.
Those unsure connections that leave you feeling drained and confused.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never quite sure where you stand with the person, and it's just exhausting.
Yeah, it's like being stuck in limbo.
And what's worse is that these ambivalent relationships can actually be more damaging than outright toxic ones.
Really? How so?
Well, with toxic relationships, it's clear that things are unhealthy and you can distance yourself.
Okay.
But with ambivalent relationships, there's always that glimmer of hope that keeps you hooked, even though the connection is ultimately unfulfilling.
Right. It's like you're addicted to something that you know is bad for you.
Exactly. So how do we break free from these draining connections?
Yeah.
The key is to seek clarity. Don't be afraid to have those tough conversations.
Okay.
Ask direct questions and set boundaries.
But what if those conversations lead to conflict or rejection?
That is a possibility, but it's better to know where you stand.
Right.
Your energy is precious.
Yeah.
Don't waste it on relationships that drain you and leave you feeling depleted.
That is powerful advice.
It's about prioritizing your well-being and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up and inspire you to be your best self.
I love that this whole conversation has been so eye-opening. I feel like I'm seeing the world in a new light.
It's like you've unlocked a secret code to human interaction.
Speaking of codes, let's talk about personal branding.
Okay.
In today's digital age, it feels like we're all constantly curating our online personas.
It's true. Our online presence has become an extension of ourselves, so it's important to be mindful of the image that we're projecting.
But it's also easy to get caught up in the pressure to be perfect,
Right.
to portray this idealized version of ourselves.
It's a common trap.
Yeah.
And that's where the other shoe effect comes in.
What's that?
It's the idea that showing our imperfections can actually make us more likable and relatable.
Wait, so embracing our flaws can actually be a good thing for our personal brand?
Exactly. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and authentic, it creates a human connection that people are drawn to.
That's so counterintuitive. I always thought the goal was to present a polished, flawless image.
It's a common misconception.
Yeah.
People connect with realness.
Yeah.
So how do we find that balance between showcasing our strengths and embracing our vulnerabilities?
That's a good question.
It's about being selective and strategic. Highlight your accomplishments and share your successes,
Okay.
but also acknowledge your struggles and show your human side.
I like that it's not about pretending to be perfect. It's about being authentically ourselves.
Exactly. And remember, your personal brand is an ongoing evolution as you grow and change.
Yeah.
So too will your online persona.
This is such a refreshing perspective.
Yeah.
I'm feeling inspired to let go of the pressure to be perfect and just embrace being myself, flaws, and all, both online and offline.
I love that.
Now, before we move on, I'd love to get your take on vocal fry.
Ah, yes, the vocal trend that sparks a lot of conversation.
Okay.
It's that creaky or raspy sound at the end of sentences.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different opinions on that, some
Mhm.
positive, some negative. What are your thoughts?
Well, vocal fry is often associated with young women, and it's received both praise and criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Some people find it annoying, while others see it as a way of asserting authority.
Interesting. So should we be embracing it or avoiding it?
You know, the research is still emerging, and there's no clear consensus on its impact or meaning.
Right.
Ultimately, it comes down to your personal preference in the situation.
Okay.
If you find that you're using it excessively, experiment with speaking louder and using more breath support.
Okay, I've noticed that my voice gets a little creakier when I'm stressed.
That's a common reaction. When we're tense, our vocal cords tighten, which can lead to that fry sound.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the key is to relax, breathe deeply, and project your voice with confidence.
So just be aware of it.
Be aware of it. Communicate clearly and authentically, regardless of your vocal style.
I like that this conversation has been so enlightening. I'm much more aware of how body language and vocal cues shape our interactions.
It's a fascinating field, and there's always more to learn.
Speaking of learning, I'm curious about the connection between body language and confidence.
They're inextricably linked.
Okay.
Our body language both reflects and influences our confidence levels. When we feel confident, we stand taller, we make eye contact, and we use more expansive gestures.
So it's like a two-way street. Our
Yeah.
body language boosts our confidence and vice versa.
Exactly. It's a positive feedback loop. The more we practice using confident body language,
Okay.
the more natural and authentic it becomes.
I love that. That's really empowering.
Yeah.
We have the power to shape our own confidence through our physical presence.
Research has shown that even small changes in our body language can have a big impact on how we feel and how others perceive us.
So start with small adjustments like standing taller or making eye contact, and just see how that shifts your energy and your confidence.
It's about stepping into your power and owning your space in the world.
That leads me to another question. Is there a connection between our physical posture and our emotional state?
There is growing research that suggests a strong link between the two.
So how we hold our bodies can influence how we feel.
Exactly. Slouching sends signals to our brain that we're sad or defeated.
Okay.
Standing tall and opening our chest, on the other hand, triggers feelings of confidence and empowerment.
So it's like our bodies are constantly communicating with our minds.
We have more control over our emotional state than we realize. By consciously adjusting our posture,
No.
we can actually shift our mood.
So next time you're feeling down, try standing up straight, opening your chest, and taking a few deep breaths.
Simple yet effective way to kind of hack your emotional state.
I love that this deep dive has been incredible. I feel like I've gained a whole new level of understanding and awareness.
It's amazing how much we communicate without ever saying a word.
Our bodies are constantly sending signals, and the more we understand them, the more effectively we can navigate our interactions.
It's like learning a secret language
Yeah.
that unlocks a deeper level of connection and understanding.
Before we wrap up, I want to talk about a cue that's often overlooked: scent.
Ah, yes, the power of smell.
Okay.
It's one of our most primal senses and can profoundly impact our emotions and behavior.
I've definitely noticed that certain scents evoke strong memories or feelings.
Our sense of smell is directly linked to the limbic system, the part of our brain that processes emotions and memories.
So how can we use scent to our advantage in communication?
Be mindful of your own scent.
Okay.
Choose fragrances that make you feel confident and reflect your personal brand.
So it's not just about smelling good, it's about choosing scents that align with our desired image.
Exactly. Your scent is an extension of your personality
That's really interesting.
and can influence how others perceive you.
Are there other ways that we can use scents strategically?
You can use scent to create a specific atmosphere or mood.
Okay.
Lavender is known for its calming properties, while citrus scents can be energizing and uplifting.
Okay, so if I'm hosting a business meeting, I could diffuse some citrus oil to boost creativity and focus.
Exactly. It's a subtle way to influence the energy of a space.
I love that I'm starting to see scent as like a really powerful tool.
It's a sense that's often overlooked, but it can be incredibly powerful when used intentionally.
Before we wrap up, is there anything we haven't talked about that you think is important for our listeners to know?
That's a great question, and I think the most important thing is this: stop competing on stages where you can't be your best self.
Wow.
Instead, create rooms where you can...
That's such a powerful statement.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. We often feel pressure to conform to societal expectations to be the loudest voice in the room or the most extroverted personality.
Right. It's like we're constantly trying to fit into a mold that doesn't quite suit us.
Exactly. And in the process, we lose sight of our unique strengths and talents,
Yeah.
and we end up competing in arenas that don't play to our advantages.
So how do we find those rooms where we can truly shine?
It starts with identifying your social strengths.
Yeah.
What are you naturally good at? Are you a great listener? A captivating storyteller? A persuasive speaker?
Right. It's about recognizing our unique gifts.
Yeah.
And finding spaces where those gifts can flourish.
Precisely, once you've identified your social strengths, think about how you can create or seek out environments that allow you to express them authentically.
So instead of trying to be someone we're not,
Yeah.
we should focus on becoming the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. Embrace your quirks. Celebrate your strengths and find your tribe.
Yeah.
Those people who appreciate you for who you truly are.
This is such a powerful message. It's a reminder to let go of the pressure to conform and embrace our authentic selves.
It's about finding your voice, owning your space, and creating a world that celebrates our unique contributions.
This has been such an inspiring and thought-provoking conversation.
Yeah.
I'm feeling so much more confident and empowered to navigate my interactions with authenticity and intention.
It's been a joy diving deep with you.
This whole idea of finding our social strength really resonates with me. It's
Mm.
like we're all puzzle pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to find the right place to fit in.
It's a great analogy. We each have our unique shape and purpose.
It's about finding those spaces where our edges align and our strengths complement each other.
So how do we figure out what our social strength is?
Yeah.
Is it something we're born with? Or can we develop it over time?
It's often a combination of both. We may have natural inclinations towards certain communication styles, but we can definitely cultivate new skills and strengths through practice and intention.
So it's like any other skill.
Mm-hmm.
The more we use it, the stronger it
The
becomes.
stronger it becomes.
And just like with physical exercise, it's important to challenge ourselves and step outside of our comfort zones.
So if I'm naturally shy and introverted, I shouldn't just hide away in a corner.
Definitely not. It's about finding ways to express your unique strengths, even in situations that feel challenging.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah,
It's like we all have the potential to be incredible communicators.
we do. It's about embracing our individuality and finding those spaces where we can shine.
I'm curious about the role of storytelling in communication. I've always been drawn to stories, but I never really understood why they're so powerful.
Stories are the backbone of human connection.
Okay.
They allow us to share our experiences, make sense of the world, and connect with others on a deeper level.
So it's not just about entertainment. It's about creating meaning and connection.
Exactly. Stories tap into our emotions, they engage our imaginations, and they create a shared experience.
This so profound.
Yeah,
I'm starting to see storytelling as like an essential tool for communication.
it is.
And the great thing about storytelling is that everyone has a story to tell.
Everyone does.
It's about finding your voice and sharing your unique perspective. How can we become better storytellers? Are there any tips or techniques we can use?
Of course, one key element is vulnerability.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to share your struggles and challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Those imperfections actually make a story relatable and engaging.
So it's not about pretending to have it all figured out.
Exactly. And another important aspect is structure. A well-structured story has a clear beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
It takes the listener on a journey.
So it's like a mini movie.
Precisely. And a good story leaves a lasting impression.
I love that I'm feeling really motivated to start crafting my own stories.
That's the spirit. Remember, everyone has a story to tell, and your story matters.
This deep dive has been such a transformative experience. I'm feeling much more confident and empowered.
It's been a joy diving deep with you.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. I feel like I've learned so much about how to communicate more effectively and connect with others on a deeper level.
It's been a pleasure exploring these concepts with you. Remember, communication is an ongoing journey of discovery and growth. Embrace the process, experiment with new techniques, and most importantly, have fun.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of body language and communication. Until next time, keep those cues in check and those stories flowing. So much incredible stuff in this deep dive into body language. You know, I feel like I've gained a whole new level of awareness about how much we communicate without even realizing it.
It is fascinating how much we give away with those subtle signals and cues.
Exactly. And the more we understand them, the more effectively we can navigate our interactions and really connect with people on a deeper level, right?
Absolutely. It's like unlocking a secret code to human connection.